Listen, identify the announcer. This is 1811. Listen, identify the announcer and the name of the play he is describing from the following video clip. Audio clip.
Ron will probably try to swim it if he does. Ball comes loose and the Bears have to get out of bounds. Rogers along the sideline, another one. They're still in deep trouble. Midfield and Rogers through a couple of... The ball is still loose as they get to Rogers. They get it back out of the 30. They're down to the 20. All the Bears are down on the field.
Blue wire, Don.
I don't think I know the right announcer, but that's the big game, and it's Keith Jackson.
No. Can you take it, Lemmings?
Lemmings, Goldstein.
That's the big play, and it's Joe.
Audience.
Joe.
It was Joe Starkey, and it was a play. You did not get that. Sorry, no points.
The announcer, the old
So close.
Colorado Rockies, before he settled down.
Thank you, Rich. All right, still playing for the 40-point bonus. There's a toss-up. After appearing together in Batman Begins in 2005, Christian Bale and Michael Caine joined forces again in what non-Batman Christopher Nolan filmed the next year.
Blue wire, Leon.
Anything, Leon? No, can you take it, Lemmings?
Lemmings, Martinez.
The Prestige.
Prestige is correct for 10 points. All right, Lemmings, time's up. Watch the following series of brief clips of recent popular cable TV series and identify the show's title. 10 points each. 1805.
Had a case once, back in '79. I'd tell you the details, but it sounded like I made them up. Madness, really. Bodies?
If I don't, I promise you won't see mine. Are we in agreement?
We are.
Expect 2 cars. Hey, sir.
Not hot dog?
Wait, what the fuck?
That's it? It only does hot dogs?
No, and a not hot dog.
All right, time is back in. I need you to listen for, please.
First one, Ozark, Stranger Things, Better Call Saul, and Silicon Valley.
First one's Fargo, but you got 3 of those for 30 points. All right, playing now for a 40-point bonus. Here's the toss-up. Quick, Barry Allen is the real name of what DC superhero?
Blue wire, Don.
The Flash.
He is the Flash. All right, Blue Wire, for 10 points each, answer these questions about Motown. Which Motown group had the most #1 songs?
Temptation.
It was the Supremes in 12. What was the first Motown song to reach #1 on the Billboard Hot 100 chart? Anything?
Fingertips, part 1.
Who's that?
Fingertips.
No, it's Please Mr. Postman by the Marvelettes. One of the first groups Berry Gordy signed was the Matadors. They later changed their name to what? Those were the Miracles. And finally, this Motown supergroup started out as the Delphis and the Bells before they settled on this name and became one of Motown's most successful groups ever with top 10 hits in the R&B charts.
It's the Four Tops.
Now that's Martha and the Vandellas. You have no points. Playing now for a 30-point bonus. Here's the toss-up. Besides both being singers, Bob Dylan and Ethel Merman seem to have little in common. They do share the same last name. What is it?
Lemmings, Martinez.
Zimmerman.
Zimmerman's correct for 10 points. All right, Lemmings, I'll provide a decade and a description of a movie by somebody who's never seen the movie it is just basing it on the title. You identify the movie. Whatever. Didn't have any verbs, so I'll do our best here. 1940s, it's about a guy who meets a woman and marries her even though she's been through 2 nasty divorces. That's the third man. 1960s, the Pope, Hitler, and Marty Feldman walk into a bar.
Producers?
No, they wanted the good, the bad, and the ugly. And finally, 1980s, a documentary about lumbar punctures.
Species.
No, this is Spinal Tap. Punctures. All right. That Rich Engel wrote that, so no points. So I'd like to know. All right, playing now for a 30-point bonus. Here's the toss-up. To date, he is the youngest actor to play James Bond in film, but is most notorious for having turned down.
Blue Wire Gone.
George Lazenby.
George Lazenby turned it down after Her Majesty's Secret Service. You are correct for 10 points. All right, Blue Wire. This question is a bit of the old and a bit of the new. Identify the thing being sampled and the artist doing the sampling. Time's out. I'm going to give you 5 points for each. So I want the thing being sampled and the artist doing the sampling.
That's a shorty playing in the front yard of the crib. I bumped my head. Somebody helped me up and asked me if I bumped my head. I said, yeah. So then they said, oh, so that means we going.
Kind of gave it away the last part. But let's do your list of 3, please.
Well, first one's Axel F. And we'll say Drake.
It was Psy doing the Beverly Hills Cop team.
Well, Axel F is.
I know, we agreed on that.
And then we'll say question mark and then Drake.
It was Psycho by Busta Rhymes.
And then the Monsters theme Paul.
That's correct. So you have, I'm going to give you 3 of those for 15.
Cool, because that's what I got.
All right, time is back in. Playing now for a 30-point bonus. Here's your toss-up. Emmett Kelly, one of the great American circus clowns, appeared as a mascot for what Major League Baseball team in 1956 and 57? His contract wasn't renewed the next season when the team moved to LA.
Blue Wire Gone.
The Giants. New York Giants.
No, can you take it, Lennox?
Lemons Eaton.
That would be Brooklyn Dodgers.
Pretty much have to be. Yes, you are correct for 10 points. All right, Lennox, for 5 points each, 30 for all 6, name the original 5 VJs on MTV. Five points each, 30 for all 6. Okay, how about that list?
Okay, Nina Blackwood,
Is correct.
Mark Goodman,
That's correct.
J.J. Jackson,
That's correct.
and
Martha Quinn, you have the
white guy, kind of looked like the ERP guy.
It is the white guy. Yes, We're not talking pigment here, though. Come on. It's Alan Hunter, but you got 4 of those for 20 points. Play now for a 30-point bonus. Here's your toss-up. Obadiah the donkey, Hosea the cat, a nameless octopus, Sir Reginald Featherbottom III, a British penguin. They are united under the rather dubious claim of having been present at Jesus' birth And now they have adventures of their own, getting in trouble and spreading that message of love. Name this Christian puppet show staged by Luann Platter on King of the Hill. That was Manger Babies. Still playing for that 30-point bonus. After shooting, composer Max Steiner didn't want to use it as time goes by for Casablanca, preferring to write an original song in order to get royalties. This didn't happen because producer Hal B. Wallace explained that Ingrid Bergman could not reshoot scenes that used the song because she had already cut her hair short for her next film, which was what film co-starring Gary
Blue Wire, Leon.
No, can you take Lennox? That was For Whom the Bell Tolls. Still playing for that 30-point bonus. In what Golf Digest called one of the greatest golf photos of all time, Michael Jordan is chasing this golfer across the course of the 1999 Alfred Dunhill Cup at St. Andrews. Said golfer recently won his first major at the 2017 Masters. Name him.
Blue Wire, Don.
Sergio Garcia.
That is correct for 10 points. All right, Blue Wire. I'll provide 3 titles by a best-selling author if you identify the author. Exodus, Trinity, and the Hajj.
Leon Uris.
Killing England, Killing Jesus, Killing Lincoln.
Bill O'Reilly.
And finally, A Case of Need, Airframe, and Sphere.
Michael Craig.
You have all 3 of those for 30 points. Playing now for a multimedia bonus, here's your toss-up. Although best known as a TV star, he broke into movies in 1949, playing a TV host in Down Memory Lane. As a songwriter, he wrote hundreds of songs, including the Grammy-winning song Gravy Waltz. He did 2 stints as the host of the game show I've Got a Secret and created the PBS series Meeting of the Minds. For 10 points...
Lemons, Edens.
Bud Collier.
No, that's a 5-point penalty. I will repeat the end of the question for Blue Wire. You did 2 stints as the host of the game show I've Got a Secret and created the PBS series Meeting of the Minds. For 10 points, what multi-talented performer hosted The Tonight Show from 1954 to 1957?
I'm sorry, Blue Wire, Julie.
Steve Allen.
Steve Allen's correct. For 10 points. All right. Time is out. Here we go again. Listen to the following. Oh, this ought to be good. This is going to be good.
We're gonna make it run.
Okay, you probably recognize that as the opening of Survivor's Eye of the Tiger. Now sing the first 4 lines for 10 points each.
Well, that cut out. It'll stop on there.
All right. I don't get this new technology.
Just again.
I have got both the sing lines. We're going to go with
Right up the streets.
Why don't you give us the chorus part, like everybody else got? Let's get physical. And then the last one's the Eye of the Tiger.
Amazingly, you got no points there. We're going to listen to Survivor.
And maybe I have mercy on our soul.
I think that was not hard, for God's sake.
Alrighty then. Time is back and we're playing for a 30-point bonus. Here's your toss-up. He was the first African American to become a principal artist with the New York Metropolitan Opera. He ghosted Sidney Poitier's voice in the 1959 Porgy and Bess. However, he's best known as being the namesake for his vocalist's son, who had one of the major...
Blue Wire, Leon.
Some was James Ingram, Luther Ingram.
No 5-point penalty. I'll repeat the question for the Lemmings. He's first American artist. However, he's best known as being the namesake for his vocalist son, who had one of the major pop hits in 1988 with a song featured in the movie Cocktail entitled Don't Worry, Be Happy. Name either father or son.
Lemmings Martinez.
Bobby McFerrin.
Bobby McFerrin is correct. Pick up the trash, John. All right, here's your 30-point bonus. Athletic injuries are no laughing matter unless you're one of these guys. Identify the sports star from the injury that felled him. This former Brooklyn Dodger pitcher with the same name as a former 49ers running back cut his hand while adjusting the strap of his wife's bra.
Roger Craig.
That's correct. I can't imagine the bra, but anyway. This former Broncos quarterback injures his right foot while getting off the couch.
We'll try Jake Plummer.
You are correct. And finally, this former Baltimore Colt left guard who was a key protector of Burt Jones pulled his hamstring running onto the field for the coin toss.
He wasn't the guard, but I'll say this one.
No, it was Robert Pratt, but you got 2 of those for 20 points. 20 now for a multimedia bonus future toss-up. Identify both the title, this is 1812. This is your audio toss-up. Identify both the title and performer of the song from its distinctive intro.
Blue Wire Dom.
Someone Like You, Adele.
No, can you take it, Lemmings?
That's where it's at.
That was Boston by Augustana. Playing still for the multimedia bonus, here's the toss-up. In the 2006 film Stranger Than Fiction, Will Ferrell played Harold Crick, a man who worked for me. My well-known acronym is shared by the record label formed by Miles Copeland in 1979.
Lemmings Martinez.
IRS.
IRS is the acronym. All right, time is out. Identify these 4 TV shows from their spoken word intros.
In 1972, a crack commando unit was sent to prison by a military court for a crime they didn't commit. These men promptly escaped from a maximum security stockade for the Los Angeles Underground. Today, still wanted by the government, they survived as soldiers of fortune.
An innocent victim of blind justice, falsely convicted for the murder of his wife. Reprieved by fate when a train wreck freed him en route to the death house.
When I was a child, I saw my mother killed by something impossible. My father went to prison for her murder. Then an accident made me the impossible.
He woke to find himself trapped in the past, facing mirror images that were not his own, and driven by an unknown force to change history for the better. His only guide on this journey is out.
Okay. And time's back in. Can I have your list, please?
First one, 18. Second one, The Fugitive.
Third is The Flash. And finally, it's Quantum Leap, but you have 2 of those for 20 points. Playing now for a 40-point bonus, here's your toss-up. In the film Annie Hall, while waiting in line to see the Ingmar Bergman film Face to Face, Woody Allen...
Lemmings Goldstein.
Marshall McLuhan. All right, Lemmings, Gary Oldman has probably won the Oscar by the time this question gets read for yet another biographical performance. For 10 points each, name any 4 real-life characters that Oldman has portrayed up to this point.
Okay. Sid Vicious, Lee Harvey Oswald.
Yep.
Winston Churchill.
For this one, correct. Anything else? You've got 30 points. I would have accepted Beethoven, Joe Orton, Dylan Thomas, or Elvis. Still, we're going to play now for a 30-point bonus. Here's the toss-up. This former Denver Bronco is a member of the Senior Bowl Hall of Fame, but is best known for one of the biggest defensive plays in Bronco history, his strip and recovery of Ernest Biner's fumble in the 1987 AFC Championship game. Name this defensive back who caused the fumble.
Lemmings Partridge.
Jeremiah Castillo.
That is correct for 10 points.